Hello and welcome to Computology Academy, and today we are going to see the geomorphic processes, that is from Physical Geography NCERT class 11th book, and this is lecture number 9. For earlier lectures you can visit our YouTube channel and go through the playlist that relates to Physical Geography NCERT. So here we will today discuss about the geomorphic processes, and to understand the geomorphic processes, it is very important to know about the endogenic forces, exogenic forces and gradation. So what are the endogenic forces? So all those forces which are emanating from inside the earth, like diastrophism, volcanism, tectonic activities, all these forces are known as endogenic forces, while those forces which are applied on the surface of the earth from the outside factors, those are created due to the outside energy that is not coming from within inside the earth's material, is known as exogenic forces. Such forces are wind energy, solar energy, gravitational energy and all those things, right? And here gradation. So gradation is not a force in itself, but it is a outcome. It is an outcome due to the combined effect of exogenic and endogenic forces. And here what happens, due to the application of exogenic forces, here there is weathering and movement of the weathered material, and these weathered material, when they are transported to different locations, then those regions, those landscapes which are elevated gets degraded and the weathered material gets filled up, and these weathered material are deposited in those locations which are having the depression on the surface of the earth. And due to this, the difference between the elevated and the depression landscape gets even out, and this process is known as gradation. Now come to the geomorphic processes. So what is the geomorphic process? What is the definition of it? So here the endogenic and exogenic forces causing the physical stress, due to the endogenic and exogenic forces, those are applied on the surface of the earth, and because of that there are physical stress on the earth material, due to which they get weather degraded, etc. And also they apply the chemical action, like due to the temperature, climatic condition, humidity, etc. The chemical action is also occurring on the surface material of the earth, and because of this the materials and other things that bring about changes on the material, on the earth material, and due to these changes the configuration of the surface of the earth is also changed, and they as a holistic process bring about the changes on the configuration of the surface of the earth, and this complete process is known as geomorphic process. So as a holistic concept, the geomorphic process is a process in which endogenic and exogenic forces are applied collectively, and because of that these endogenic and exogenic forces induce the stress, physical stress on the surface of the earth, as well as due to the exogenic processes the chemical action is also occurring on the earth material, and because of these two effects, the physical stress as well as the chemical action, there will be changes in the material. These processes will bring about the changes on the material of the surface of the earth, and due to this what will happen, there will be changes in the configuration of the landscape, configuration of the physical features of the earth surface, and this combined process, this whole process is known as the geomorphic process. And here again diastrophism and volcanism, as we had seen in the earlier lectures, earlier videos, that the diastrophism and the volcanism are two endogenic processes, endogenic forces, and these geomorphic processes mainly cause the elevation of the physical features of the surface of the earth. They are creative forces, they create new physical features, they elevate the physical features on the surface of the earth. And any exogenic element of nature are capable of acquiring and transporting the earth material can be called as the geomorphic agent. In a holistic term, the geomorphic processes or the geomorphic agents are considered as same until and unless it is specifically mentioned that some of the agents are only the geomorphic agents or some of the processes are only the geomorphic processes. Otherwise, collectively they are considered the same. So here the exogenic elements, which are the exogenic elements which are capable of acquiring and transporting the surface material of the earth, it is such as wind, flowing water, moving mass of the ice sheet, etc. These things are capable of bringing about various changes in the configuration of the landscape due to their own movement. Until and unless these things are in motion, they are not the geomorphic agent. They are not in a position to acquire and transport the surface material of the earth. That is why if they are in motion, if they are moving from one place to another place, then only they will be considered as the geomorphic agent. Otherwise, they will also be considered as some of the physical features of the earth's surface. Now come to the endogenic processes. So here the endogenic processes are mainly caused because of some energy gradient, some energy difference. Like at the center of the earth, the temperature is very high, while on the surface of the earth, the temperature is not so high. It is considerably less than the temperature which is prevailing over at the center of the earth. And due to this temperature gradient, due to this energy difference, there are various endogenic processes are occurring over there. And here mostly this energy difference, this energy is generated, the endogenic forces are generated because of the radioactivity inside the earth. This radioactivity, the disintegration of the radioactive materials are creating the temperature difference within the surface of the earth. They are generating the heat, and because of that the temperature gradient is over there. And thereafter rotational and tidal friction. So the earth is rotating on its axis, and because of that there are various frictional forces that are occurring inside the surface of the earth. And thereafter the primordial heat, when the earth had formed, its temperature was very high, and with the passage of time the earth cooled down, but still there is primordial heat. Considerable amount of primordial heat is available inside the earth, and that is why the endogenic forces are also occurring from inside the earth. So this is again a cause of the endogenic forces, generation of the endogenic forces. And now the action of the endogenic forces are not uniform throughout the surface of the earth as well as throughout the body of the earth, and because of which different amount of endogenic forces is applied at different places on the surface of the earth as well as inside the earth. And this is why the tectonically controlled original crustal surface of the earth is uneven. At some point we will find the mountain ranges, and some places we will find the rift valleys, in some places we will find the plateaus. So likewise we find different things and different physical features at the different places on the surface of the earth. And this is because the endogenic forces are not applied uniformly on the surface of the earth, and that is controlled by the heat gradient, the energy gradient that is on the surface of the earth as well as inside the surface of the earth. Now come to diastrophism. So what is diastrophism? So as we had discussed earlier, the diastrophism is the process of elevation or upliftment of the surface of the earth due to endogenic forces. So here there are different types of diastrophic processes or diastrophism. So first one is the orogenic process, because of which the mountain ranges are built. We have came to see various mountain ranges like the Himalayas, Rockies, Andes, Alps, Atlas mountain ranges, etc. All these mountain ranges are the product of orographic or orogenic processes. Thereafter, apiorogenic processes. So again, orogeny is a process in which the new physical features, elevated physical features are formed. Apiorogeny is another process. Here what happens, the large surface of the earth, a huge landmass, will involve in upliftment or upwarping process. And here what happens, the large part of the earth's crust will be uplifted and it will form the features like the plateaus. So apiorogeny is the process where we see the formation of large scale uplifted landscape on the surface of the earth. Thereafter, earthquakes are also endogenic processes. Here there is different types of landforms or landscapes will be formed, like some places will involve subsidence or some places will involve the elevation, and it is considerably localized. The earthquake causes localized changes on the physical features of the earth. Thereafter, plate tectonics. So the plate tectonics is the movement of the lithospheric plates on the surface of the earth. This is also because of the endogenic forces, and this also causes various landscape changes on the surface of the earth, and this involves the formation of the rift valleys, formation of the plateaus, etc. All those kind of things can be formed because of the movement of the tectonic plates or the lithospheric plates also. Thereafter, volcanism. So volcanism, as we had seen in detail in the earlier lectures, volcanism includes the movement of the magma onto the surface of the earth or towards the surface of the earth when they found any weak fracture zone or vent, because the magma are the molten rock and they are considerably mobile. So whenever they find any outlet or any vent through which they can travel to the surface of the earth, they start moving and they reach out to the surface of the earth, and they also form various physical features on the surface of the earth. Thereafter, exogenic processes. So the exogenic processes are the processes or the activities on the surface of the earth which are there because of the external energy that is being applied on the surface of the earth. And the prime source, the major source of such kind of activities is the sun, because of the energy that is being provided by the sun on the surface of the earth in the form of insolation that causes various energy gradients, temperature differences, etc., because of which there is flow of wind, and because of which we find there are various physical featural changes on the surface of the earth. As well as gravitation is also an important process or important factor, because of which various exogenic processes occur on the surface of the earth, and here it causes the downfall or the movement on the surface of the earth. If there was any absence of the gravitation that is being applied on the surface of the earth, then even if there was some gradient, then the physical features or the geomorphic agents would not have been in motion, and the gravitational forces are the major reason which are causing the movement downslope. They are also causing the internal stresses on the physical features, etc. So here the exogenic processes are driven from the energy of the atmosphere, and the atmosphere is getting its energy from where? From the sun itself in the form of insolation, and it is determined by the ultimate energy of the sun, what amount of energy that is being available at the surface of the earth. Like we find that the energy is in surplus at the equator, near the equator, while it is in deficiency in the polar regions and subpolar regions. So here again the gradients of energy that will be created will be different at different locations. Again, the gradients created by the tectonic factors, that is also causing the exogenic processes. Like here the gradients will be created first of all, and thereafter the gravitational force causes the movement of the geomorphic agents. Now the gravitational force, as we have already seen that how it impacts the movement of the geomorphic agents, and geomorphic processes are occurring on the surface of the earth. Thereafter chemical processes, again the chemical processes will be linked with the external energy as well as humidity that is available in the region, amount of water, type of vegetation, type of rock, whether the rock is able to assimilate the some amount of humidity or water and thereafter get hydrated, etc. Such kind of things will be there. Again, due to the temperature also there will be various chemical processes on the surface of the earth in different rocks. Now all the exogenic geomorphic processes are covered under a general term, that is denudation. And why this is so? This is so because all the exogenic geomorphic processes are mainly causing the degradation and disintegration of the physical features which are there on the surface of the earth. And because of this, there will be different geomorphic processes which are occurring on the surface of the earth, which are causing the degradation and denudation on the surface of the earth, and that is why the exogenic geomorphic processes are covered in under the general term, that is denudation. Climatic factors are also very much responsible for the exogenic geomorphic processes, because due to the climatic factors there will be chemical action, there will be physical actions like movement of the ice sheets. If it is the arid region, then there will be temperature action, there will be wind action, etc. So the climatic factors also controls the exogenic geomorphic processes as well as the type and the structure of the rock. So here, if there are different types and different structure of the rocks, because of that different types of geomorphic actions will be occurring over there. If there are fractures on the surface of the rock and that rock is in the geomorphic region, ice sheet region, then it will cause the stress and wedging of the ice, wedging of the rock, and because of that the rock will be shattered. So these geomorphic actions are occurring on the surface of the earth. And now last but not the least, we would like to inform all of you that we have launched our general studies foundation course batch for UPSC exam that will be held in 2023. For 2023 pre-commence foundation batch has been announced, that will be commencing from 3rd of January in the morning batch at 8 a.m. and this is offline course. Here there will be holistic coverage of the complete syllabus, exhaustive coverage will be there, as well as we will be providing the continuous assessment to the students, like there will be test series as well as objective and subjective questions will be discussed, so that the students will be in a better position to prepare themselves for the preparation of UPSC examination. And here for further details you may get in touch with us on our landline number, as well as this is our mobile number on which you can get in touch with us through WhatsApp also. And this is our website from where you will get the complete detail of the syllabus as well as the course details also. You can also register for the course from our website on online mode, and for other facilities and other information you can get in touch with us on our offline website, which is being provided in the description below itself. and for other things get in touch with us on these numbers. Thank you very much and have a nice day, and do subscribe our channel and press the bell icon to get notified whenever we upload new videos. Thank you.